back to another episode on fWhip's Patreon server. I believe this is episode 4, and today we are going to be working on Nameless's order. But before we do that, I would like to show off a little bit of progress that I made on the project from last episode, which is the showcase for our terrain shop, our terraforming shop, and not everything that I claimed would be done has been done because I haven't been able to get on a lot this week, but I did get some progress last night, and there's Nameless right there, with getting the trees laid out. And then here are 2 of the trees. All these other stumps are going to look like this eventually. I need to add some roots over here, but this is based off fWhip's tree, and here's a tutorial, so you can look up fWhip tree video or something like that, and he has a video on how to build something like this. But before we get into Nameless's build, which, hello, he was helping me kill some phantoms a bit ago. But if we go in here, this is Jirax's Tree Incorporated. And if we go in here, then he has tree orders. So for a small tree, I'm guessing like this one right here. I'm guessing that's a sapling tree. It's 1 diamond per. Does he have any orders yet? Nope. A mid-grown tree is 3 diamonds per, and a full-grown tree is 10 diamonds per. Which is quite pricey, and it's sort of making me want to raise my prices. But, and then he also has a custom order over here, which is pretty cool. He wanted to do some sort of deal with my business since we are very similar. But we haven't discussed that much yet, so we're not sure how that's going to go. But let's head over to Nameless's. So this is the area over here. I'm not sure if I showcased it that much, it being all broken down, or if it even was when we recorded the last episode. But he finished off clearing a lot of this area, and I'm guessing that he wants to keep this as like a hill, sort of, going up here. And then there is a cliff over here as well, that I'm going to be terraforming. But because the area is so huge, and I think I'll be flashing a image that he sent me yesterday, or earlier today, not sure which, that showcases what the size is. Basically, it's outlined by this netherrack around here. Because of how big it is, and I didn't really think that it was going to be this big, I'm probably going to charge him more, because currently this job is only 24 diamonds, but this seems like way more than a 24 diamond build to me, so I'm going to be charging him more when we get some built, so that he can make sure that his investment is good. So I don't completely know what his plans were for this area, but since I am building it, I guess I will put my input in. And I think that what we should do here is a sort of cliff type of thing to separate his land from the other land. So we could do something like this and sort of follow the nether rack. Here we go. I'll fill in the holes soon, but I just wanted to get a general layout. And then what we could do over here is we could actually have a part that is sort of like in between this area that comes down so that you can actually get onto his area from here. So we could do something sort of like that. We're gonna break that. Okay. So this is how high it's gonna be, and then what we'll have is a smooth curve downwards this way. And I hope someone sleeps soon, because I haven't slept in days, so phantoms are always after me. But he has built this little cave over here, which I think is really cool. If he doesn't get to it, I might detail this a bit. But I really like how there's just a little crack in the wall there. So by that, I'm guessing that he wants another cliff here. So what we can do actually is, let's see. So I don't think we want a path leading towards there, since it's sort of like a little secret cave. But what we could do is actually build this up quite a bit. Something like that maybe. And then we could do something like this. And I think that will work. We will obviously be detailing it quite a bit. I am not used to having haste, but he has a beacon in his area right there. But we could take all of this out to sort of smooth the curve, and it's not going to be stone. We're going to be replacing it with dirt and podzol and stuff like that, but just as a layout. And I think that could work. Maybe something like that. Okay. And so that'll be a cave right there. Or that'll be a cave. This is a cliff. But then over here, we can sort of have the cliff sort of blend in with how the rest of the terrain over here works. So all this can be replaced right here. And then in order to get up to here, it's not going to be very smooth. So what we're going to do instead, I think, is that we are going to have, we could have somewhere make this more of a steep hill. So maybe somewhere around here. I do like this. And I think it would be kind of cool if we actually turned this into a lake right here. So we could do something like that. We could have a lake right there, or a pond, that flows into a small river. It's not going to be as wide as this. That then just goes down this way, and then I don't really know where it would lead. But yeah, we could, maybe it just ends. We could do something like that, which I think would be pretty nice. And then, I'm not really sure what else. But I think we're actually going to get the time-lapse camera on here, so that I can get working on this. And then we'll have a few breaks and show off what we're doing, and then another time-lapse. I think I got a little bit carried away there. I just spent 2 hours making this, and this is just the general shape of the terrain. But yeah, the time-lapse may have gone a bit longer than I first anticipated. But what we are going to be doing now is texturing. So let's start over here, and let's see. So first of all, we want to get rid of this. That's for sure. But we are just going to be using a bunch of these blocks that I gathered and texturing this just like I'd texture any other build. But if anyone was wondering, the way that I go about these builds is first I get a general shape, like I have. Then I go ahead and texture it a bit in places. I wish I had a bigger hotbar. This is a mess. I don't need that right now. Okay, I think that's okay, but I'd also like to get all of these there. Okay, anyway, let's see. So we can do something like this, but I like to get the shape in first so that I know what I'm doing. And now I need a pickaxe. There we go. So that I can see what I'm doing. I don't really like the texture that I'm doing here. That can go there. That can go there. I don't like this being there. Okay, anyway. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. But I really like to get the shape in, texture then, after, and then I like to detail after. So adding in the paths and fences and light sources, that sort of thing. Also, one thing that I would like to do, and I try to do, is that whenever using something like andesite, I don't like just randomly putting it as if it's cracked normal stone, but instead I like to put it in spots together. I don't like that. Do I have any normal stone on me? Not much. Let's get some. But we have tons of materials here that most of them we've just collected using while mining, but a lot of it he has gathered, and Nameless has actually been helping out, if you have noticed, in the time lapses, which is very nice of him to do. I don't like that much. Let's do something like this. And also another thing that is very nice, that's not going to look that good, are these petrified oak slabs in fWhip's texture pack. That does not look good. Let's put it, let's put it there. I think that will work. Yeah, we could do that. But in fWhip's texture pack, I don't like that. He retextured the petrified oak slab that they added into the game for some reason. I don't think anyone really knows why, but they did it for some reason, so there we go. But it's normally uncraftable. But on the server and in his single player world, he has a crafting recipe for it, which is 3 coarse dirt as a slab, and it makes a coarse dirt slab using his texture pack. So we are going to be using that quite a bit. So we could do something like this for the hills, and we could do this kind of all over, but while it might not look that good right now, it will eventually look good, because what I plan on doing is that, and I'll come back to that wall in a second, but what we plan on doing here is that we can take some spruce logs and do the same thing that we did in over there, and we can plan out where trees are going to go. And if there is a tree somewhere, it would make sense that there would be a lot of puzzle. So we could do something like that. And we could put quite a few trees. I don't think I'm going to be building any today, because they take so long to make, but we can at least plan sort of where they are gonna go, and we can also bring in some coarse dirt to break up all the green, and we're gonna do this across the entire landscape. So here we go. Okay, but yeah, I'm just gonna be texturing for a bit, and then I'll cut back. So I did a bit of work. I added in tons of stumps, and these are all probably going to be, here we go. They're probably all going to be trees, but most likely not all of them are going to be like big spruce trees like I showed off at my shop area. But instead maybe a few of them are, to keep this area with that style, because I'd like to have the whole shopping district have that type of tree. But we also are probably going to add in a bunch of those sapling trees that I showed off at the tree shop. So we're probably gonna have most of them be that, because those are way easier to make. But a few of them are gonna be the spruce ones. So I mean, the sapling ones are also gonna be spruce, but I mean like big spruce ones. So what we are going to do now is just texture this while I talk about what's going on with the channel. And I feel like I say that I talk about it every episode, so I'm kind of getting annoyed with myself for saying that. I should get some gravel out as well. Yeah. But basically, what I used to have was that every Wednesday was a mod spotlight, and every Monday and Friday would be a fWhip Patreon server episode. But that isn't really working for me. So what I am doing instead is I still want 2 fWhip Patreon episodes per week. Who's that? Slidge Holes. I haven't really talked to him much, but I guess he's checking out what's going on. But anyway, what I was saying was that we're gonna have a mod spotlight every Thursday, and we are going to have a fWhip Patreon server episode every I keep saying every Friday and Monday. So that's the current plan. Let's get some more coarse dirt over here. And by doing that, that means that I don't like that much. That means that I'll have more time, because most of the time I record like I am now over the weekend. But because of that, because the first episode goes out on a Monday of the week before, I wasn't able to have enough time to edit. So now I will be able to. And also, the reason why I want Thursday for mod spotlights is that recently a lot of the mod authors have wanted to look over the video before sending it to them, or before sending it out, or publishing it. So what I want is an extra day to be able to give them a chance to do that. And I'm kind of just mindlessly adding in Podzol at this point. There we go. Okay. One thing I would like to do is replace a lot of this stone over here with gravel that's on the floor. Because for some reason I did not think to do that while actually building it, but we can do that now. And also, pretty soon we are going to be filling this with water to make it more of a lake. Actually, one thing we should do is we should add in some Podzol. So something like this, and it could be like mud. So I think I like that idea a lot. And we could also use the petrified oak slabs as some slabs here, along with some cobblestone and even some cobblestone stairs, and we will be making this into a lake. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the river because I just don't think it would fit, but a little lake right here I think will look really nice. Now let's go ahead and texture up this wall. I'm just getting all the materials. Here we go. So we can put some stone bricks down here. I'd like to have these more on the bottom because they look like they enforce it a lot more. And then up here we can have some stairs and stuff. And do I have any cobblestone? Have a little bit. There we go. And also one thing I didn't say is that all the cobblestone pieces that are up here, those are going to be paths. So there's not going to be a path to the lake, but there will be a path that goes from over there up this way, and then it splits into two, one going that way and one going this way. Then there's going to be a path that goes around there, and then the main path will go around the castle. So I think that is a pretty good plan. So let's texture this up. And what else can we use? We can use some walls. That for some reason I see a lot of people forgetting that these exist for texturing. And eventually I will go through with some buttons and put some stone buttons places, because that always makes stuff look nice. And let's put, we should probably texture this side as well. So something like, do I have any andesite? Yes, I do. Oh, that's not andesite. There we go. So something just like that. And then we can also add in some andesite on this side. And I think that works right there. One thing I'm also going to do when I get detail in with the paths is I'm going to add in a bunch of bushes and flowers, because I do actually have some bone meal here, but I don't want to add that in until the ground is figured out. So what my goal for today is going to be is to finish up this area up here. So anything that's above the ground level, pretty much. So I think that we are almost done with today's episode, but before we end, I would like to add in a few more details. So something like a rock here, maybe? We could detail it. That's the same block. We could detail it a bit. Let's also add that there, sure. Then we could also put one right here. And we could just have it be like that tall. And then let's also add that there. And just a few of these, just to break up any places that need breaking up, because there's too much, yeah, let's do this, because there's too much, grass in an area. That looks good. This area right here really needs to be broken up, so we could do something sort of like that. And perfect. Just like that. And maybe one more over here. And then I'll show you guys what I did with the lake. Because I just realized that I haven't cut in since then. Because it's been quite a while. I do not like that. Right there, there, there. I think that's good enough. But this is the lake. And Nameless came over. He did a little shift to show that he liked it. And I like it too. Ooh, I forgot to texture that. I'll texture that in between cameras, or in between episodes. And if we go up here, as you can see, this is the path. And I think the path is pretty much done. It isn't done over here, but just like up on this hillside. And one thing, so this is going to be the last thing that we will be doing today, is adding some foliage. So I don't actually have many leaves on me, because that is something I don't really have much of. I'm going to remove all the flowers for now, just because I want to add those in manually. And also it'll help us collect some more for when I do that. But I really like the tall grass. I feel like that helps a lot to make it look overgrown. There we go. Just something like this. Did we miss any flowers? Nope. And we can just continue to go around like this. But I really like this build. I think that I'm going to finish up this area and then ask Nameless for 24 more diamonds. Because when I originally went ahead and accepted his thing and gave him a price, the scope was a lot smaller. So, ooh, that's a lot of flowers. Okay. Oops. We want that tall one back. There we go. But the scope was really just this little back end right here. It wasn't the sides and all that. So I thought, oh, that's about a medium project. It's a pretty large project at this point. So currently he's charged 24 diamonds. I'm going to ask him for another 24 in order to complete the rest of it. But we got most of it done, and I just wanted to sort of show him that he was actually paying for something worthy. And also, something I'm going to be doing, and probably show you guys next episode if I do a good job on it, which I hope I do, is that Pack, who is there, Pac-Man Josh, he is running a clan, or cult, or something. I think he calls it a cult. He's running one of those. Hello, Nameless. And he, what's it called? And he hired me a while ago to build his mountain a bit, but I didn't know I was getting paid for it. So apparently I get paid 64 diamonds if I help him. I don't know exactly how much of that is still going on, since it's been like a week and a half. But he told me today that he was reserving that. So I'm going to help him a bit there after this. Let's get a little bit more here. There we go. Has he messaged me? No, Nameless has not said anything. Let's also add that there. I think that is good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to add bushes in between the trees, and also I am going to add in flowers. We're going to get some double high ones because I love those. Maybe even a sunflower patch. And then I will start working on trees. And next episode, I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet. I have another job that I have to get working on, but I sort of forget where the location was. But yeah, so this is what I have been doing, and I think we're going to end this off here. What I'm going to quickly do, actually, is get into my spectator account so that we can see the progress that we've made, and get a cool screenshot for the thumbnail. Oh, that looks cool. That looks really cool. So I'm now on the spectator account, and real quickly before I get off, I would just like to fly around, and you can sort of see the terrain there. I don't know if you guys remember what the place looked like before, but it was just a lot of stone. Now, I am noticing that I've left out this part right here, but I might just keep it. I might replace the granite and like texture it up a bit. when I get to that area. But this is the area right here, and I think that looks pretty cool. And that's the lake. And let's look from over here. Oops. That looks good. One thing that he did want me to do is make a cliff. So I am going to texture off the sides here to make that more into a cliff. I did a little bit of work here just to make it less, more natural looking. But then there's like a hole there and stuff that needs to be fixed. But I really like this, where you can just sort of walk down through there. And yeah, I think this is good. So there's a path going this way, and it goes around this way, and there will be trees above you. I might take down a bunch of trees because looking from it from above, I feel like I went a bit crazy with it. Um, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to collect a lot of leaves and do that off camera. But I think this is going to be the end of the episode, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.